Hello, everyone. My name is Bruna Carincotte. I have been with RBFF for the past 6 years on the consumer side, supporting the brands of Take Me Fishing and Vamos a Pescar. And I just joined the stakeholder team. So I'm now taking care of PR and communications for both consumers and stakeholders. So I'm very excited to be here with you today, talking a little bit about our campaign and some retention tactics for you to implement on the state level. So this is very exciting. Moving forward, whatever you need in terms of communications, you can still reaching out to Joanne, but you can also reach out to me and to Emily, who is our new communications manager. So I just took this chance to do a little bit of introductions. And I'm originally from Brazil. So English is my third language. My first language is Portuguese. My second language is Spanish. And English is my third language. So forgive me about my accent and some things that you don't understand. I will make sure to share this presentation with you all so you can have access to everything. And I can clarify anything during our Q&A. And I'm gonna try to stop talking because I talk too much. Okay. What I wanted to show to you guys today, it's a video that explains the strategy that we created last year for the Get On Board campaign. And this video shows why we created the campaign. Of course, we had a need because of everything that happened, but it goes into how we came up with the key messages for this campaign, what we developed in terms of what we wanted the consumers to do for us, to take some actions, go fishing and boating, but how the tactics that we used to engage with these new potential consumers that were trying a new activity last year. So this video is going to show this strategy. It's going to talk a little bit about the tactics and also the results, which were amazing. And so I thought about starting with that. The way you can have like a broader vision of, okay, this is how the strategy came, this is how the tactic came, and this is how the results. And then we can talk a little bit more about how can you apply some of these tactics on a local level for a big campaign, for a small campaign, for really whatever need you have. So I'm gonna play the video for you now and I'll come back right after.
COVID-19 showed us all how much our mental wellness depends on the little things in life. With America's anxiety showing no signs of slowing down, more people than ever stood to benefit from the restorative power of fishing and boating. So Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating stepped up to help. The challenge, though, was daunting. With safety regulations varying by state, Americans needed clear answers about where they could turn. Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating were committed to providing support, and thus was born Get On Board, a public service campaign to help America navigate the uncharted waters of the pandemic. With a positive and encouraging rallying cry, the campaign launched with a public service announcement inspiring consumers everywhere to heed the call of the water. An interactive resource equipped partners to easily share with consumers the latest updates on safe fishing and boating access, even while COVID-19 regulations were quickly changing across states. News media helped spread the word with useful guidance and education. And paid advertising extended the current across target consumers' favorite media outlets. On social, the Get On Board video was among Discover Boating's top 3 most popular social posts of the summer. Meanwhile, a hashtag became a movement as anglers and boaters of all kinds rallied for the cause. Influencer partners like Us the Duo even got creative by recording an original cover of the Get On Board theme song. And sharing it with their millions of followers. And the industry got on board too, helping to amplify the campaign across America. All the buzz translated into historic web traffic, especially among target audiences like women and young people. The biggest impact of all, though, happened right on the water. What's more, these traditional pastimes are also welcoming non-traditional participants. When pandemic stress made us all more vulnerable than ever, Get On Board helped Americans from all walks of life discover fishing and boating as lifelines to mental health.
So, tactic number one that I wanted to share with you, it's communicate key message, especially when you have like a long-term campaign that you are talking about the same subjects like after months, and you have like different things happens, change routes. You can always go back to the set of key messages to make sure that your customer, to make sure your target audience, it's taking the exact action that you want them to take. So for example, for us, with this campaign, our main key message was like fishing and boating. It's relaxing and it's unwinding. And those adjectives or those feelings are the number one experience associated with fishing. So that would spark people interest to join the sport, right? And then another key message that we use a lot is like nearly 1 in 3 participants believe the best thing about fishing is getting away from the usual demands of life. Everybody's trying to look for, oh, how can I get away from my usual demands of life? See, you kind of see what are the needs of your audience, and then you create key messages that is gonna make them say, oh, I wanna try that. And then the main key message was, you know, fishing and boating can be one of the remedies you need to fight the pandemic stress and anxiety. And in 2021, you know, with all this uncertainty, for sure we are gonna still take a lot of advantage of this mental wellness approach that fishing and boating brings. So the campaign for this year is going to have other key messages, but definitely the key message used in 2020 that you all have access to can for sure continues to be communicated in 2021 in your efforts to promote fishing and boating on your state. Number 2 tactic, it's recruit a local expert. So in our case, we recruited a national expert, right? Dr. Sue, who you heard from earlier today. So the idea was to have like somebody that could provide the science behind the wellness that we know that fishing and boating give to us, because we do the activities, we are there. So with Dr. Sue, she created these 4 M's of mental health: movement, mindfulness, mastery, and meaningful engagement. And we're like, this is engaged perfectly with fishing and boating. So we recruited her to be our spokesperson with national media, with local media, and we took advantage of her knowledge to share this content on our social medias and on our digital channels, making a correlation, how can fishing and boating fit these 4 M's? But that doesn't mean that you cannot find an expert, a local expert. Actually, you guys are the expert. So we motivate you to become the spokesperson of your state, you know, and create content with you telling people why fishing and boating is great for your health, movement, great for mindfulness, because you spend time in nature, relaxing, unwinding, how easy can be done because it's close, you have like body of waters everywhere. So it's that's the idea, that you recruit some, it can be one person or it can be like a group of people that are going to develop, that are going to translate this message to your target audience on a local level. And I love to say that I think you guys are the experts, right? So people would love to hear fishing and boating stories and how they can be meaningful for their lives from you, because you have all the information about it and all the experience. So there you go. Tactic number 3, storytelling. So we not only recruited Dr. Sue to be our spokesperson, but we also took her on a fishing and boating trip, right? She had never fished before. So she was super excited. We took her on a boat with her family. And she was able to put in practice the 4 M's that she was talking about, that we were all talking about. So she was talking about the challenge that she had when she was reeling in the fish. So mastering a new skill. She talked about how good it was to just unplug and be with her family on a boat for like 4 hours. So she was able to, it was interesting. We had some interviews with her before and some interviews with her after the trip, and she could give the experience part of it. She was super authentic because she was actually putting in practice what she did. So one of the things that we say that on a state level, you can identify other personas to talk about fishing and boating as a gateway to promote these 4 M's. And you can also take some people out on a fishing and boating trips and connect with your local news. Like we got crazy national media cover with Dr. Sue. And we had some outlets reaching out asking, oh, do you have somebody, a newcomer going fishing on my state that I could highlight on the morning news? So the local news are always looking for local faces to show new experiences. So take advantage of that. In our retention toolkits, we also have like press releases and media alerts that are tailored for national media, but you can also update, translate into local media and reach out to a more regional and local level. And also promote on social, right? We promoted the Dr. Seuss trip on social media, and we had like tons of impressions and engagements, and it was great. And again, it doesn't need to be somebody, it doesn't need to be a celebrity, an influencer. It just needs to be somebody who knows what you're talking about, or if they don't know how to fish and boat, that they can be authentic telling their story. So we can engage more people. All about bringing new people to the sport and keeping them. This year, we're all talking about retention. Okay, we had millions of new people joining us. Now what are we gonna do to retain them? So one of the great things to do is to kind of inspire them to keep going fishing and boating, like reminding them about the great memories that they did back in 2020. So we are gonna have some assets that you will be able to use. Last year when we launched the campaign, we had a retention toolkit. We had a toolkit, the campaign toolkit. And this year we are calling retention toolkit. And we are working with MRAA and Discover Boating to revamping this toolkit with not only visuals, but also language and some communications pieces that you can repurpose for your digital channels on how to retain these new customers. Like, so with message about everything that they enjoyed in 2020, the challenge that they had fishing and boating, also reminding them to invite new people to join them, and that they can keep going, fishing and boating, practicing social distance, that they can still have their bubble on a boat. So we watch for that. Beginning of March, we're gonna have new assets that you can take advantage to retain these people, to keep telling the story. So these people who tried fishing and boating last year will do it again this summer, hopefully. That's what we aim for. So tactic number 5 is it's almost like a reminder that everything that we do is for you. Like, all the researches that we do, the reports that we create, the assets, the communications assets that we put out there, it's for you to repurpose. It has our logo in some, you can just ask for us to take it off our logo and put your logo. We are here to help. So last year, we did, in August, we did this Met release where we asked Americans how COVID changed their relationship with the outdoors. So we call it like quarantine, call to nature. And we got like very good stats, like, top reasons why Americans were going fishing. Oh, it's relaxing, it makes me happy. I'm enjoying spending more time outdoors. So those answers were not only specifically about fishing and boating, but about the relationship that the people created or recreated with nature due to the pandemic. And this information is going to still be relevant in 2021 because it's still like kind of like a hybrid year to somewhat normal. So these research, these infographics, these assets are all available to you on our website. And we're more than happy to send it over. So that's a great retention tactic. Just repurpose all the work that we do in terms of creating data, creating statistics to communicate how awesome fishing and boating is to our audiences. Yeah. Moving to tactic number 6, develop local partnerships. So in our case, we partner with Discover Boating for our national campaign, which is great. And we're partnering with Discover Boating again this year, more to come on that. But that doesn't mean that you cannot find like local partners that could not be, and actually that's a great idea. You can partner with business already on the fishing and boating industry, right? But you can also partner with other local business that are related to fishing and boating somehow. That way you can target new niche of new audiences and bring new people to the sport, right? Because one thing is for you to communicate with people that is already there, fishing and boating, and you want to communicate them because you want them to keep doing it. But you can also reach out to new people and then refresh them how good the experience was. So just like crazy examples, like we're talking about the 4Ms. So you could partner with a yoga studio and offer them a fishing and boating trip, or promote where to go fishing on a day that you're doing yoga outdoors. Or you can partner with a photo studio shop with like a raffle of like an online contest that people can win, like a photo shooting of their families fishing. So there are some different ways that you can integrate your message about where to go fishing on your state, what type of fish can you catch in each location, if you partner with other business to help to spread out this message. Tactic number 7, build online communities. So nowadays, especially that everything is online, people are more and more losing this sense of belonging. So people go to social media to kind of feel connected, right? But what we have been seeing after COVID is people are losing the sense of belonging, and they are more and more reaching out to these closed groups, these closed online communities that share the same values, that share the same interests, so they can really kind of connect on more like on a one-on-one base. So Facebook groups, it's perfect for that. You can create, and if you already don't have your Facebook groups on your DNR Facebook page, you can create like more than one, you can create like specific groups for anglers interested in catch these and these and these type of fish, or people who wants to go fishing on the east side of the state, I'm just creating. But instead of just posting information, people are wanting, craving for this one-on-one connections. What we did and what we have been doing for a while now, we work with Social Toaster. They are an online platform community, and we use them for our Women Making Waves campaign. So we have now more than 500 women registered in this platform, so we can communicate with all them, and we can easily send information for them to share, and they can communicate with each other. So look for all this online community that you can create on a local levels. And another great tool is WhatsApp. It's growing in the US, and you can, with WhatsApp, it's great because you can have these people phone numbers that later on, depending on your system levels or marketing strategies, you can send text messages with reminders of renew your fishing license, and you can create specific groups on WhatsApp, and you can target your communications to this specific group. So that's another great tool to create an online community and have like a database, more than just email, not just thinking ahead, having phone numbers and thinking about new other ways to communicate with people from your database. Number 8, tactic, be active on social media. We do a lot paid advertisement on social. Social now, it has become a pay to play sometimes, most of the times on Facebook specifically. But the thing is, I hear a lot of like small business friend of mine saying, oh, but I don't have like a big budget to do paid advertisement. But what you can do, it's if you don't have a big budget, you can boost posts. So like, for example, you have like a content strategy. And
all right, folks, looks like we're getting kicked out. So
then you can go back
jump
to
back.
Facebook.